Hey guys, this is Skyzm, and we are going to check out a little bit of a building tutorial here today. The bat's here for it. 2 bats. 3... Too many bats. Alright, so there have been lots of tutorials on the use of arches in Minecraft. And typically when you're building an arch, you need, a shape like this. Something that starts with a wide base and graduates to the top and flips back over. Typically when you do this, you have to have a decreasing number of blocks in each column here. So we have 3 blocks, and then we go in a row, and then we have 2 blocks, and then we go in a row, and then we have 1 block. And then we repeat the same thing coming back down this way, and it creates a nice arch. You can do this with pretty much any pattern and any number. We could start with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, and then we'll come back down. 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's fix it up. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. That's wrong. So, and you can see we have a pretty nice looking arch. In this case, we went 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. And we'll look at it from this angle. There you go, nice big arch. And this guy's a little smaller, but you get the idea. Now what I haven't seen is a technique that I love using in lots of builds. And it's not really an arch so much as it is an arc. Now with an arc, I always kind of thought of an arc as something that worked sideways like this rather than kind of up and down. You're heading usually from a horizontal and working your way up. So typically, it's the same general rule where you're gonna have a descending, kind of in the opposite though, where you have a descending number of blocks going into your center point, and then an ascending number of blocks going up. So in this case, we have 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. Then of course we fill in all this middle bit here with extra blocks, because otherwise it would just look like this, which might be kind of cool for some things. But it's just, yeah, actually that could work for lots of things. But typically when I've done it, I've just kind of filled it in on the sides here. Because usually I'm using it for something like a wall. Now, I like to set them into the ground like this, but the same principle applies here, where we just start above ground and we go 3, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. And what it gives you is a very cool looking shape here. And the rule of thumb that I've always used, because it's been a little different with every one that I've done. The shapes are different, and the number of blocks that I need is different. Sometimes I'm working up to a roof that I have in mind or something like that. But general rule of thumb is if you can start your arrow on this point here, on the the far edge of the block, and you can draw a line like that with your mouse and hit the edge of every block, and it's a relatively smooth arc, you're gonna have something that looks nice. If you have to go in, let's say for example, like you're doing this, and you just, probably intentionally botch one here, just to give you guys an idea. And then we'll kind of fill in all this junk over here. This, this is pretty brutal. Obviously incorrect, but just to illustrate the example, you can't take this and draw a straight arc. You're obviously you're zigzagging, you're up and down, you're oops, and then you want to go up like that to be something smooth. But we kind of take a little detour and then go up. So obviously something like that not gonna work. But if you can take your arrow and just go and then it's gonna look good. So in practical terms, you can do stuff like this. These 2 guys here. this is the same general idea where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3 blocks, 1 block. But then I broke my own rule a little bit here. I did 2, and then, what was that, 5 again. It can still look good. Oops, let me see if I can get over here a little bit. It can still look good because you can still draw a relatively smooth arc here. It just changes the shape a little bit. But you can see one of the problems that I run into is that now this, in order to get to this midpoint here with a relatively smooth arc, I'm kind of cutting through this block here. So wouldn't it be great if I just used half a block there? Sure would. Don't have one on me. Not prepared. Yoink. So, boom. You pop one of those bad boys in there. You're on your way. You're working on it. You're getting smoother. But the half blocks can help you out a lot. Now, something like this, I might have done that. Put 2 of them in there. You know. Help to smooth that out. But like I said, every single one that you will do will be different. Over here, I have kind of a better example of using the half blocks. So we start in the ground, and we work our way up, and it's much more gradual and much cleaner, and it looks much nicer overall. This time we start in the ground, inset a little bit, which I really like to do, and then we work up, what is that, 5 of them, and then 3, and then we switch over to full blocks for 2, 1, 1.5, what works out to be 2 again, and then I guess like 4 or 5 up there. So you always kind of eyeball it, but the general rule is decrease, decrease, decrease to your midpoint, and then increase, increase, increase. So if we take a look at how this can be, you know, applied in terms of something that resembles a building. Let me get our time set back here. You get something that looks really cool like this. What I did here was I took this arc, inset into the ground, and curves all the way up. Looking real nice. The other end here is the exact same number of blocks. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 halves, 2 holes, 1 hole, 1 hole, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So we go 5, 3 halves, 2 hole, 1 hole, 1 hole, 2 hole, 5 hole. And we get a really nice looking smooth arc. And I could probably go a little higher with this if I wanted to and still look really nice. But the end result is something that looks really great as, like, you know, a wall abutment. I don't know if that's a word. It sounds like it might be. But you can also see what I did here was I mixed in a lot of these other blocks. This is where it gets really cool looking and creative, you know. It's a great shape to work with, but when you start mixing in different materials, it's where you really get that variety. We kind of have a nice little back here, it gives it a little depth. And on the insides, you know, it's just kind of like, I use this in a build on the Hermitcraft server. I built a log mill, and it was kind of with this shape. For those of you who saw that, that was the one that looked like an owl face. Unintentional, but there it is. So, yeah, and then, you know, we throw in a little furnace here, some backing wood, a little bit of floor, these pillars. And, you know, you could throw a roof up here. This could even just be a nice open area. But what I did with this coming down here is that I also threw in another little arc right here. Same idea. 3, 1, 1, all the way out here. 3, 1, oops, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and then all the way out. So hopefully this gives you guys some cool ideas for some building. I'm patenting them. They are the patented skyzm arcs. The skark. Let's see if we can get that going. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you like the video. It always helps us YouTubers out. We will be back, maybe with some more building tutorials, huh? Why not? This one went out okay, I think. Let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back later on. See ya.